The next important element that our authors tell us in chapter 14 with the study section is that stakeholder perceptions have to change. They have to constantly evolve as improvement strategies are implemented and carried out. At Columbus High, we do see that there is quite a bit of resistance to change due to the previous success that we have had. Faculty and parent perceptions typically seem unchanged. They both like the rigor and they both like the final end product. But we do see as our students complete exit surveys that student perceptions are changing. And we're actually seeing that with our enrollment. A lot of students are seeing the rigor and the possible faculty as being oppressive and possibly controlling. So Columbus High does need to address our perceptions of school climate, both with the faculty and the student body, in hopes that we can bring them together to make that school environment and climate more positive. In chapter 15, the authors speak about reflecting. It's within this they state that the problems of accessing useful and informative information with time limitations is a hindrance that we will experience. And this is evident at Columbus High School. It's difficult due to the everyday activities and duties that the teachers here have to carry out. There's a lot of grading, there's a lot of reading, there is a lot of everyday activities and duties that are necessary for our school to be maintained. And it is rather difficult for us to research. But one remedy could be to delegate bits of research among the stakeholders. This could be through department heads. This could be through various departments themselves. But in hopes of taking into account everyone's time, if everyone is responsible for a smaller part, then we can take care of the research that is needed for us. Now, at that point, we would have to redeliver to the faculty as a whole or within our own departments. But this is extremely important. Accountability is vital. Everyone that is delegated a task must carry it out. In the reflection process, authors speak of the leadership team implementing or empowering others to explore proven practices and self-reflection. This is going to give our faculty and stakeholders the opportunity to have the chance to explore other strategies that may be effective, that may have worked, but then also reflect on their own teaching. Currently, we are presented with information with no opportunities for reflection or discussion. One way that we can remedy this is through an open forum. But within this open forum, we have to encourage discourse. We have to encourage conversation. But the difficult part is to encourage self-reflections. Faculty members, other stakeholders must be able to look at what they do and possibly see things that they did wrong. The way that we get that is through a sense of openness and non-judgment. One easier way that we can do this when we are exploring proven practices is to go to the Education Trust. They have documented and have given access to educators successful strategies that have been effective in the past at other various schools. Our school leadership team also has to be reassured that meeting a small number of goals with high quality plans is acceptable. At Columbus High School, we may talk of one topic or practice per year. There are times that we have worked on two, one each semester. But this is all in hopes of producing more higher quality assessments. When the individuals have time to actually research and plan and maybe possibly implement some of these steps, we can see goals being met. But we have to reassure the school leadership and also all stakeholders that the improvement process and the goals that we're trying to meet is about quality and not quantity. We also see school improvement failure when the school improvement plan doesn't provide enough detail about the methods for change. This document may be acceptable at the state level, but it may be rather vague and just provide general information to stakeholders. This could be remedied by informative meetings. If the leadership team were able to explain this action plan and the effectiveness and the action steps that were involved, it's going to allow and produce a sense of ownership within the faculty, within all stakeholders. More importantly, within this clarification step, All stakeholders must know what to do differently. They need to know how they can change, how they can be more effective in our school improvement process. In the planning stage, authors speak of the school improvement planning and implementation is an intentional process with clear destinations. This step is taken, with a purpose. It's not an arbitrary step. It's not something that a district or a school decides to do, but it is with an intent. But that intent has to have measurable steps. And at Columbus High School in our current school improvement plan, we do see that there are measurable steps that are taken. Measurable goals are given that can help meet our overarching needs. We also see that it's the school improvement plan's responsibility to share this information, to communicate. But we are not simply just sharing information. We're sharing what initially started as an idea into a widely shared vision among all stakeholders. The way that we do that is to invite. We need all stakeholders, internal and external audiences, to have access to these meetings, to access to this information. We can do that through currently email and phone calls. But we can use technology at this point. Technology can be used to address each audience differently, as it should. Technology can address the internal, the faculty, in one method, while the external audience who may not have access to this information may be given opportunities to view informational meetings at their own time. In Chapter 17, Lazat McKee are going to actually speak of implementing this plan. But this is an interesting step because we see that the school improvement plan may be created rather easily, but the implementation process may be more difficult. So we are going to need data and planning to show a clear path to school improvement, which Columbus High does compile, and we have seen. We do see, unfortunately, that the implementation process and the adoption process is difficult, again, due to staff resistance, due to the previous success that we have seen. What we can do to, again, remedy this is to share. If we share the planning information, if we involve all stakeholders from the start to the finish, it can develop ownership. This sense of ownership may result in less resistance. In the implementation process, the school leadership team needs to make the recognition that ultimate success as a leader is commitment. Staff commitment to the students is shown at Columbus High School. But again, we do see that commitment stops with the students. There is a lot of resistance to action steps in the school improvement plan, which is voiced rather vocally during faculty meetings. So staff perceptions must change. We must see this opportunity as an opportunity to improve. Again, self-reflection at this point, if we implemented it earlier, may make this easier. And finally, all schools need to celebrate. At Columbus High School, unfortunately, with all the accomplishments that we have, our accomplishments are not celebrated. There are banners and website updates that Columbus High uses, but that is not enough. It's almost like there's the sense of success being normalized, which does give the concept of high expectations to everybody involved. But celebrations do give an opportunity for everyone to refocus. It gives people a sense of empowerment. We can also use this to increase the commitment to the school improvement plan that we may have had difficulty implementing. But also, it's an opportunity to have fun. In the implications for change, there's an interesting quote in The Flight of the Buffalo that says, "Change is hard because people overestimate the value of what they have and underestimate the value of what they may gain by giving that up." This epitomizes Columbus High School. Columbus High School has an opportunity to benefit from this change. Some of the ways that we can benefit are through the use of formative assessment training, but then also the implementation of our PBIS. Data shown that the faculty has a relatively low usage of formative assessments. And this is really an excellent opportunity for us to benchmark and assess our students as we move throughout the year. Right now, our goal is to achieve 100% by the end of the year in training. And then we want to see 85% showing effectiveness of the faculty members in this skill. Again, formative assessments are important. As we address our PBIS, we see that resistance to this was extremely high. This is the first year that PBIS was implemented at Columbus High, and we want to see that all 10 Tier 1 elements are met, and at least partially implemented 5. In closing, we need to view this entire process, the school improvement process, as cyclical. So we don't need to see the current success as an endpoint, but the beginning. The beginning of the study, reflect, plan, and do cycle. This is the backbone of school improvement. It's the backbone of the cyclical process that we need to take. But obstacles will present themselves. But we can overcome these if we have a shared vision, we collaborate, we continually use data and we analyze that data, but also provide support to all stakeholders involved. Because we need to realize this is a never-ending process with one goal, and that goal is learning for all. My references are available. Thank you for your time.